Hi, does the name Jambulani, Brazuca, and Team Judge ring any bell? Do they? They don't? Okay, welcome to yet another episode of Field of Play. My name is Elite Makbo, and today we're having a look at the World Cup balls. When we come back, I'll tell you all about it. Stay tuned. The 1986 World Cup was held in Mexico, and the name of the ball was the Adidas Azteca. The ball was one of the first to include design inspired by the host nation. This design was inspired by the Mexican Aztec tradition. The architecture and the mural of the Aztecs. And ever since, Adidas has kept this practice up for every World Cup ball with inspired teams from the host nation. The Mexican World Cup saw the introduction of one of the first polyurethane coated balls at the World Cup. This was the first good quality synthetic ball ever produced at the World Cup, with good qualities on hard and wet surfaces. The polyurethane used in coating the ball made it water resistant. The construction of the ball made it possible for the ball to retain its original shape after being kicked, and this made it to also retain its shape for a longer time and even at high altitudes on wet and hard conditions or wet play fields. The 1990 World Cup was held in Italy, and the name of the ball was the Adidas Etrusco Unico, the first ball with an internal layer of polyurethane foam. The design of the ball paid homage to Italian history and fine art, the Etruscan. So this became part of the Tango series. It was the same design, same patterns. The official match ball was even introduced to the Pope at the Vatican for his blessings before the tournament kicked off. Now this ball joined the Tango series of the balls for the World Cup. The Tango panels were designs with Etruscan lions. However, this ball was blamed at the World Cup because of the lack of goals that were scored at this particular World Cup. But after the World Cup, the ball became very popular. A lot of people demanded for the ball, and the ball was produced in mass quantities. However, all the production was made in France, or had made in France on them. Now the ball was made of multi-layered synthetic material, which made it perfectly waterproof. The 1994 World Cup was held in USA, and the name of the ball was the Adidas Questar. Now the Questar meant the quest for the stars, and this was for two main reasons. The American flag had stars symbols inside, and also the World Cup fell on the year of the 25th anniversary of the Apollo mission, when the first man was landed on the moon. The ball kept the tango component of the ball and making it the last black and white ball to be used at the World Cup. Now the World Cup ball, the Questar, was made out of 5 different materials. It was made of polyurethane, and this made it very durable and flexible, and also waterproof. The new technology in the ball allowed for greater acceleration, and it was soft to the touch. This allowed the players to control the ball very well, and when kicked, it accelerated at high speeds. The ball became very successful, and it was used for the 1996 Euro Cup and then the 1996 Olympic Games. However, those balls were very colorful. The Questar represents space technology, high velocity rockets, and America's quest for the stars. The 1998 World Cup was held in France, and the name of the ball used was the Adidas Tricolor. Now this was the first multicolored ball to be used at the World Cup. The ball was named after the famous French Coke Tricolor. Many believe that this was the most beautiful and the most imaginative FIFA World Cup ball. The surface of the ball were covered in tiny hexagons. This reflected or refers to the air bubbles in the coating of the ball. This made the ball even more flexible while being kicked. It was named after the French Coke Tricolor, and it is the French Coke that you see on the famous tango panels, including the red Adidas logo on top of the Coke's head. The 2002 World Cup was hosted by Korea, Japan, and the name of the ball was the Adidas Fevanova. This was the first ball specifically designed for the women's football. The name of the ball was as a result of the high levels of football fever in Asia. Fever Nova was a transition ball between the classic style of ball and the modern style of footballs. Now, this was the last hand-sewn ball that was ever used at the World Cup. This football has seen a lot of improvement. There had been a lot of changes in the materials being used, which gave it a lot of good qualities. Now, this was the thinnest World Cup ball used at the time. This ball has the hexagonal pattern and also the air bubbles patterns as seen in the previous World Cup ball. So we are looking at the World Cup held in Germany in 2006. That was when Ghana made its first appearance at the World Cup. And the match ball used was the Team Geist. That was the name of the ball. Now, the ball was manufactured by Adidas, and in this time, the number of panels from 32 panels had reduced to 14 panels. So due to the reduction in the number of panels, the panels became bigger. This meant a reduction of the player kicking the ball at the joint, because with 32 panels, we had a lot of joints and it was easier for the players to kick the balls at the joint. Now, when you kick the balls at the joint, the ball does not travel at a higher velocity. But with the bigger panels, you hit the ball within the panels, or the number of times you're going to hit the panels is limited. This gave the ball more accuracy, more efficiency, and more travel time and speed to be able to travel through the air at its target at high accurate speeds. The Team Geist ball used at Germany 2006 had a golden finish. This was in reference to the World Cup trophy, which was made of gold. And also, the ball was decorated with the colors of the German flag. The propeller design of the Team Geist limited the number of corners on the ball, which improved the smoothness of the ball, which also enhanced smooth play. So there you have it, the Team Geist ball used for Germany 2006. We come to the world famous 2010 World Cup held in South Africa, and the world famous or notorious football called the Jambulani. Jambulani means to celebrate or have fun. 11 colors were used to design the ball. This represented not only the 11 players on the pitch, but also the 11 languages spoken in South Africa. The ball consisted of 8 terminally 3D bonded panels. Just 8 panels. And now this was the first time 8 panels were used to design the football. The Jambulani was more spherical and accurate, but for some reason the players did not like the ball because it shifted through the air in long shots. So for instance, when you hit the ball at a long range, it will shift and swerve several times in the air before getting to its destination, which gives the goalkeepers a very difficult time at catching the ball. However, the ball is in high demand. This is due to the use of foot golfers. The foot golfers claim the ball gives them high control and it rolls more easily on grass. Diego Forlan of Uruguay requested for the Jambulani ball to practice on it before the World Cup. So he became an expert with the Jambulani ball. And if you can remember, he had a free kick against Ghana and he was able to score that free kick. So he didn't have any issues with the ball because what? He had time to practice with the ball. So that is the world infamous Jambulani ball. So we look at the 2014 World Cup held in Brazil, and the name of the ball was the Brazuca. Now the Brazuca was a term used in Brazil which meant Brazilian or the Brazilian way of life. Before the name was selected, over 1 million football fans voted among several names to select that particular name to be used for the ball. Due to the issues of South Africa's ball Jambulani, the Brazuca was the most tested football because Adidas, the manufacturer, didn't want to have any issues with the ball again. So this is the most tested football they ever produced. The colors and ribbon design of the 6-ball panel symbolizes the traditional multicolor wish bracelet worn in Brazil with name Fita do Sinho de Bonfi de Bahia, which also reflects the vibrancy and color and fun of Brazilian football. So there you have it, the Brazuca for the 2014 World Cup held in Brazil. For the FIFA World Cup in Russia 2018, the name of the ball was the Telstar 18. Now this was in reference to the classic Telstar footballs of the 70s. But this version of the ball was a bit futuristic and had an NFC chip within the ball, which allowed owners of the ball to be able to monitor the ball on their mobile phones or smart devices. Recyclable materials were used for making and packaging of the World Cup ball in Russia 2018 because Adidas was focused on sustainability. Qatar 2022, the name of the match ball was the Adidas El Ralla. Now the name El Ralla in Arabic means journey, and this was inspired by the architecture, the culture, and iconic boats and flags of Qatar. Now to me, this is one of the most beautiful balls ever produced. It was made with water-based inks and glue. This is one of the most technologically advanced World Cup balls ever made. It has a speed shell textured polyurethane textured interior layer, which is made up of 20-piece panels of micro and macro textured panels. One of the aims of Adidas for this ball was to boost flight rotation and sustain perfect shots, and also create an excellent aerodynamics when the ball is in the air. The El Ralla was also made with the aim of advertising football on a social level. Printed on the ball are the words, "Football is a collective responsibility, passion, respect, teamwork, and fair play." This is one of the most technologically advanced football ever produced. It has a 500 Hz IMU sensor placed within the ball, which allows for accurate analysis and measurements of the ball. The El Ralla ball features the contact ball technology with an inertial measurement unit IMU sensor within the ball suspended within the center of the ball. This gives the VAR quick within the seconds measurement of whenever the ball is struck. It provides them with the most accurate data at every point where the ball is on the pitch, which player touched the ball, when the ball was touched, how the ball was struck, and everything. It provides them with quick analytic data for them to be able to measure to give you the quick results needed within the course of the game. Now, I made a video about it whereby Cristiano Ronaldo felt that he headed the ball, and then later data came out to show that he didn't head the ball because of the readings of the spikes within the game. So you can check this video out too. Thank you so much for joining me on the Field of Play. We've talked about all the 22 balls that have been used for the World Cup since 1930 to Qatar 2022. It's been an amazing time having you here. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube pages, Field of Play, and all our social media platforms. My name is Elifefe Domokbo, and you've been watching the Field of Play. See you later.